Well, there you go, friends. Doc South here. And well, overnight for the last couple of days, we've had some pretty heavy, we had a hurricane come through. And it's been raining cats and dogs. And yeah, here and there, the power has gone out. And well, our house, Sandy and I, well, where we live is no exception. The power's out on our street and in our neighborhood. I imagine they'll have it back in no time, but for the moment, nothing. And well, in the morning I get kind of hungry and I'm running around thinking, if nothing else, I want a coffee for crying out loud. And you, you I guess, well, the firewood's all wet too. I couldn't even boil a cup of coffee on a campfire if I wanted to, and I usually don't want to. Uh, so yeah, I got in the car and drove around the sort of semi mall we have here in Port Murray and found myself at Dunkin' Donuts. They're open early, and I ran in and got myself a nice bagel, a buttered bagel, and a coffee, and yeah, out I went. Paid my money, and voila. And it's funny. I came. This is kind of strange, and again, I don't know much about computers. I got to tell you, yeah, you're probably looking at the world's dumbest computer operator in your screen. Yeah, aren't you? Yeah, aren't you flattered? Honestly, I don't really get these things, but I I I was eating my bagel. I said, well, I may as well see if I got any messages came in. One thing or another. I Sometimes people email me and want to know if I can do a DJ gig or work emails in and says, hey, can you get in here sooner? That kind of thing. So I like to check it out. Or the kids, the grandchildren maybe are sending me a little message or what have you. But okay, now I went to Dunkin' Donuts. Okay. I went in, got my I didn't get a donut. I got a bagel. It was good, good enough. And coffee, always good. You can't kick with Dunkin' Donuts. Always liked them. And but I'm looking at as I'm sipping and munching, I look and there's all of a sudden all this Dunkin' Donuts stuff on my smartphone. Things like me buying the donut, a little what would you call it? Like a little blurb came up and said you can get one of the bagel you just bought. You can get it for $1 now from us, all buttered up. Next time, just show us your smartphone. And like that, there was all this stuff about Dunkin' Donuts, and it wasn't just ads; it was me. In other words, I was in the doggone picture, and it's all on my smartphone. I I didn't know they could. I didn't know that kind of thing could even be done. And I'm not so. I guess it's okay. If nothing else, it's security for them, I suppose. If someone tried to, you know, stick up the place and say, your crawlers are your life, I suppose. But and I must have. Sandy was looking it over. My wife Sandy, and she said, "God, you got all these coupons too." I said, "I do." Oh, look at this. And I said, "But I don't think I didn't take out the smartphone. It was just sitting in my pocket." She says the smartphone don't care. It evidently it all this data for donuts got into my phone. I guess it's amazing. Does this happen? I'm going to have to see if this kind of thing happens when I work at the store I work at, the Acme, or maybe when I go in, to a Mickey D's, or what have you, or a Walmart. It's the Is this stuff going on, or do they actually track what the heck you're buying and what I do notice it, like if I buy, say I buy a tin of coffee, because I will when I see coffees down to a price I can afford, I'll buy a tin or two. And then next thing you know, I notice in my emails, I do get a coupon for that brand of coffee. I guess it's a good thing, but doggone, if they know that, gosh, I would think there's a lot of things they could know. You were in the men's room 8 times. What's the matter? Your body temperature seems hot. Do you have a fever? That I think you can. I don't think you necessarily need a thermometer to measure someone's skin temp. Um, what were you doing in the break room for 20 minutes? Or, hey, you didn't take a break. Get in there and take a break. That kind of thing. A lot of times, if we're busy, heck, I forget the break. I want to get the job done. You know, I don't know. It just seems kind of weird that the phones know so much about you. I mean, it's not quite Big Brother, but it almost could be. You give it enough free reign. Ooh, I don't know. I don't. It's now another thing. For the good, you could be along the river, say, and um, maybe you get a message, you get an email from your smartphone saying, "Hey, just the other day, Bill Johnson down the road got an 18-inch trout right here in this particular fishing spot. Why don't you try too? Maybe you'll get one." And you would have had no idea that could happen, but his info could all of a sudden now be transported to you. Now, yeah. See, I don't know. I hate to say it, but the possibilities are endless. Some of them are good, and some of them, I don't know, I think are a little bit on the scary side. I know one thing, I wouldn't want to be a crook nowadays, because man, they'll have you in about, God, they'll have you in no time flat. Know what the heck car you got, which way down the highway you went, probably get your license plate. Yeah, you'll be with your little prison smartphone in a cell before too long. Which maybe that's a good thing, I guess. But my gosh, I don't know. It just seems kind of wild. Anyway, I'll see you later. I guess see you later maybe isn't the right thing to say anymore. I'll notice you later, but I'm not going to look. I'm going to turn it off. I don't want to know everything about you. God. Anyway, good luck, friends. Have fun. Bye now.